Welcome to Land Academy. This is the cash flow from land show, where we show you how to buy unwanted vacant land and sell it for more on the internet. I'm Steve Butelli.
I'm Jill DeWitt.
We are your hosts. With over 15,000 completed transactions, we are the experts in this niche land flipping business.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com. All right, let's get this show started.
Yes, Jack Butelli here for Land Academy. Welcome to our cash flow from land show. We show you how to buy property for half of what it's worth and resell it the next day. Great information and instruction from Jack, that's me.
And inspiration from Jill, that's me.
Jill, there's got to be some funny stuff you can start the show off with that's happened to us recently.
Yes. I always have something funny. So I'm up at 4 this morning. I don't know why I'm up. I'm just like
you live a crazy life, man. It's like normal for us, but other people, I think.
It's kind of true. You know, that's a good thing to talk about on another show too. I mean, people probably look at us going, "What the heck is up with them?"
That's what I think.
No, I'm at 4 a.m. and I'm on the computer. And I'm working on our vacation home for the summer. And I'm sending out some emails and things. And I hear this sweeping. I'm like, what's this sweeping? Like it sounded like it was right out my door. You know, it was really kind of funny. Well, I didn't know this. But I get up and I go out on the balcony and I look down and there's a guy in a truck and they actually sweep the sand back on the beach. He's sweeping off the boardwalk. Like it's not a street sweeper. He's actually out there sweeping.
Did you flash him?
No, I didn't want to scare the guy because I was kind of like, somebody's out there, you know, and I thought he would be like, somebody's awake, somebody's watching me, you know, kind of thing. But yeah, there was an old guy out there sweeping. I'm just like, oh, that made me feel good.
Jill and I, Jill booked a condo for us right on the beach in Manhattan Beach, California, over a month ago for about a week, and we've been here now for over a month. So,
do you know
that's funny enough, I guess.
I guess you know what I think. What's the biggest funny takeaway that you and I bought from that? We thought, oh yeah, you want to be on the Strand, and then we're like, yeah, no, being on the Strand's not all it's cracked up to be.
There's sand in my gums.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's so funny. That's true. We roll a little differently. You were like, I don't like the sand. I'm like, oh, yay, there's sand in my car. I like it.
Anyway, in this episode, Jill and I talk about how you are stronger than you think. This is one of those shows where we talk a little bit about real estate and maybe some other philosophical stuff. Jill, great show today. Before we start, let's start with a question posted by one of our members on successplant.com, our free online community.
Rob P. wrote, hey all, I'm a complete newbie and just getting into the process of preparing mailers while I continue to learn. Not sure this has been a topic yet, but I thought it'd be cool if everyone listed their best piece of advice if they had to pick one. Seeing how I have zero experience, I don't have much useful advice, but if I had to pick something on a more general note, it would be to take action. Far too often, like many, will spend far too much time in the research stage, end up never doing anything with it. That's why I am smartly using the learn as I go approach here. That's timely. That's perfect.
You couldn't write better questions.
That's really
cool. You and
cool.
I couldn't sit down and dream up questions and write them better than this.
Right.
Rob, welcome to successplant.com and the family of land companies here, and soon to be Get There First, which is, I guess this is our short verbal pre-launch to a company that Jill and I are launching to help people effectively flip houses and get listings the same way that we've been flipping land for years and years. So what's your advice, Jill, for Rob? What's your single piece of advice for someone who's completely starting new?
We were all there once too. Don't be afraid. You know, pick up the phone, think about what you're going to say, make the call, just do it. I see a lot of people that get hung up on that. That's one. You know what? And I have two. My other one is don't start thinking about possible things way down the road. You know, don't start thinking about.
Somebody said this in an interview. I don't mean to interrupt you, but somebody said this in an interview because it's part of my answer too. Let's not concentrate on step 7 right now.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't even say it. He said it, and he's exactly right. That's a great way to put it.
Is that yours? Is that your thing?
No, it was the guy that we interviewed yesterday.
No. Is that your thing for Rob here? No. What is yours?
Mine's going to take like a half hour.
Oh. All right.
Poor
it's
Jill's
true.
got a cough.
No, I do have a little bit of a cough. No, but it's great. I had this woman. This ties into this too. I had a woman just the other day reach out to me from Bigger Pockets. She found me and she sent me a direct email based on something that she read. And I think she reached out to me because of A, what I do, and B, because I'm a female. So it was funny because she's asking all these questions that are way down the road. Do I need an LLC? Do I need this and that? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I said. Hold on. Let's figure out, let's get some money in the bank before you even think about where you need to put the money, and then we'll go from there. Don't think about the LLC. Don't get hung up on that stuff right now. You don't need to worry about that.
The single number one biggest mistake I see new people make in our group and all over the internet and just at our talks and the whole thing is that everybody's got a deal. Everyone's looking at real estate. They're saying, hey, should I do this deal or not? And that's absolutely not the right place to start. I think you're setting yourself up to really fail at the first deal and then consequently not pursue it as a career. What you need to do is start with education. Don't even think about looking at perusing the MLS or driving for dollars or all the crazy stuff that you hear about on the internet. Get education first. Then get the tools that you need. This is step 2. Get the tools that you need to really succeed and get yourself to be part of a group, whether it's Land Academy or somewhere else, so that you can ask people questions all along the way. I had a consulting engagement yesterday on Skype for an hour that they were supposed to pay for. The people that interviewed me, it wasn't an interview. Somebody scheduled a $350 consulting 1 hour session with me on audio session on Skype. And at the end of the hour, I said, you know what? I'm not charging you guys for this because I think I learned more than you did. and I've got probably 25 years of experience flipping properties, almost 16,000 now. So, and those guys gave me some ideas and some great advice.
Good.
They're already our members too, and they're
Right.
doing great. But that couldn't have gone any better.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
So that's my answer. I hope, Rob P., I hope you stick with it, man.
Yes.
And if you have any questions, let us know. Hey, if you have a question or you want to be on the show, call 800-725-8816. It's 800-725-8816. It's really early for Jill and I right now.
It is.
So the topic today is, are you stronger than you think?
You are stronger than you think. Is it are you or you are? I think it's you are.
Checking to see if you're awake.
That's hilarious.
I just read it wrong.
Are you? I don't know. I'm not sure.
You're stronger than you think. This is the meat of the show.
That's actually funny. I kind of like your wording better. I want to write that book. Are you stronger than you think?
So Jill and I came up with this topic, and here's why. Because I was thinking back about some stuff. We all have stuff that we went through. I don't care if it's starting a new career or, maybe it's a deal that just went sideways, a real estate deal. And you look back and it was at the time it was the worst thing that could ever possibly have happened. Mm-hmm. And you're laughing about it now. Mm-hmm. So hopefully you're not going through something like that right now. But if you are, you're stronger than you think. Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of this. You just got to stick with it and reach out to the people that can help you with whatever it is and get through it. Mm-hmm. Right, Jill? You're great at this stuff. And what advice would you have for someone who's,
I think back to my personal story because I had a monumental birthday, which I'm not going to say out loud, a few years ago, and boy, did I make some changes. I mean, we're talking, leaving a job.
Midlife crisis?
I think I had a female midlife crisis. I did.
Wow, no one ever talks about female.
Oh, girls do it too.
Midlife crisis.
Oh, yes. Oh,
half the Corvettes on the planet get sold when men turn 40.
No, girls have car things too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, girls have.
I want to hear all about this.
So I left my job after 17 years, and I moved to a new city and changed my whole relationship status. All of that, and it all happened. What's really funny is it all happened in that 30 days of that birthday.
You went nuts.
I went nuts, man, and I never looked back. And it was funny because my friends are like, what is up with you?
You and I should talk more often because I haven't really ever heard this story.
Yeah. All my friends are like, a few of my friends are like, okay, you're crazy. And then I had a few friends are like, oh, I want to be you. And then later on I realized, well, you know what? You can, if you've want to make some big life changes, you kind of can too. I had some friends that were just sitting there on the sidelines, just cheering me on, going, oh, I wish I had that in me, and it's so interesting that they feel that way. I didn't think I had it in me, I just did it. And I knew it was the right thing for me because I've told you this, that it just all fell into place. It's like when you say, Jack, that your career finds you. What if you start into something like investing and you find that you're really, really good in a certain niche? Just go with it. Don't second guess it. That would be your career finding you.
I really believe that. I believe that these careers find you, not. I mean, you start dabbling in whatever. Maybe it's a hobby, or you're horsing around in the middle of the night on the internet, and then this all of a sudden it just hits you like a ton of bricks. We have a lot of members who say that. Man, you're right about that. It becomes I'll call it a healthy addiction.
Yeah. Well, and I coach people and tell them, don't close any doors here, everybody. I want to be this kind of investor. That's all I want to do. Okay, that's great. So let's go on that path / however. Don't close any doors because you never know what.
Never burn any bridges.
Or just what might sing to you. You might go, I never really thought about it, but God, I'm sure I'm good at this over here. And everybody wants to pay me money to do this. So why don't I do that? Yeah. Yeah. And it's something they hadn't thought about.
Yeah.
So,
well, were you just a big mess during that whole period, or just happy Jill?
Oh my God, I was so happy. I was so strong.
Jill, that's great.
Oh my gosh, no, it's kind of funny. It wasn't.
I wish there was a camera crew back then following you around.
It was not a sad, painful time in my life at all. It was breaking free.
You are amazing. Most people would drown themselves in God knows what during that kind of time, but you must have had a pretty good pre-thought process to it. It wasn't just reactionary, right?
There were months that went into, you know what? There were months that this is a very good question, Jack. There were months
no one
that
knows my name anymore.
I don't know what it is. Jack. So.
I don't even know what to call myself.
So there, that I actually, I don't know. I thought about it. And then I snapped. And I just did it. Yeah. That's what happened. I just snapped. And
was there a trigger?
Yeah, it was my birthday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure of it. I am sure it was my birthday. And I'm like, all right. And I'm like, I am confident that a lot of people in our group are probably here because of that too. They're like,
I think that too.
I'm making some big life changes. Yeah. I'm taking my life over. Yeah. I am done with this career. I want to be out of cubicle life. I want to be my own boss. I mean, I hear all kinds of stuff like that. So I think that's why a lot of people end up, in our world, that's what they're doing.
I was talking to a member recently, and he said, I'm here because I just need $1,500 a month extra. That covers my mortgage, my insurance, and I'm not sure what else he said, and he's doing it. And I said, well, that's great. You're doing it. Why stop there? He's like, oh no, I'm not going to stop there, but that's what made me pull the trigger.
Oh, got it. Just need to have that safety net.
No, he wanted extra money every month. He didn't want to pay his own mortgage.
Oh, that was it. So he just said, I'm just going to do that. And then he thought he'd be done. And now he's like, now I'm not done.
He just had a number in his head and he hit it. And then he was like, yeah, well, why stop here?
Exactly. Gee, this works. Let me think about it.
All right. Want to hear my story about how I know I'm stronger than I think I was?
Yes, please.
So around 2009 or 10, maybe 10 or 11. I'm not sure. A few years ago, we were the single largest seller on eBay for real estate, for land and houses and all kinds of stuff. And that market stopped overnight. So we had the acquisition machine, picture a freight train going at just about full speed. And the sales part of it stopped. And that was our only sales outlet. We never developed a website. We never developed any other, like we talk about now, you got to post it in 19 places and develop relationships and have an A-list and the whole thing, which we all have now, and it's thriving again. But my world was just about over. I mean, that was it. I thought that was it. I thought, first of all, I thought the whole thing was all too good to be true in the first place. But hey, the markets change. So that was one of the best experiences in the end that I could have ever gone through. We turned the whole thing around. It took a couple of years, but we turned the whole thing around. And it turns out that notion in the beginning, which I kept telling myself right in the very beginning, is, hey, what's the worst thing that can happen? I own a bunch of real estate with no debt, right? So it turned out that ended up being great. I inadvertently developed an A-list. I called all the guys I knew in the business and said, hey, you want to buy these properties? And it worked out great. It was painful as hell at the time.
That's what I was just going to ask you, because you asked me, and I think that was a good question.
wasn't
How were you
smiling.
feeling at the time?
No,
when you weren't like, yay, we're going to figure this out.
No.
Oh, there was like, holy crap, it's over.
Yeah, it started with that. You know, the 5 stages of loss
Grief.
or whatever. Yeah. Anger, denial, whatever. Anger, denial. And
Anger,
then finally,
denial.
acceptance is the last one.
Right.
Oh, I spent my time meandering through all of those stages.
You're living in a hotel for 6 months. Just kidding.
So that's my
hiding
story.
from the phone.
Yeah, that's about it. That's what happened there.
Well, okay, so it ties into what we do, and it ties into our topic. You are stronger than you think.
Yeah.
Like in mine, it was like more of a. It's a good thing. Mine was more of a conscious decision, and I just went, blazing, and I got it all done. Yours wasn't so much a conscious decision. It had to happen though. I mean, you solved it.
Well, think about where we are now. You and I, we have each other, and then we have this fantastic podcast that thousands of people listen to every day. Mm-hmm. That was a mistake.
Went from 6 to 6,000.
It was a mistake. The whole podcast thing was like, oh, maybe we should do that and talk about selling land. And then, so I failed at that for a long time. And then all of a sudden people like it. I don't understand it.
I don't know. It's good.
It is. It's great.
Really good.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
This is the if-then segment of the show. If you do X, then Y will happen. If you want to make $10,000 a month, deconstruct all the steps to get to that point and then work it backwards. Does that make sense, Joe?
Can you elaborate,
Sure.
please?
If you want to make 10 grand or any amount, and frankly, if you want to do anything, you want to accomplish anything, take a look at somebody that's already done it or doing it. Deconstruct what that's all about, how they got there, all the components that go in, and then set up yourself to do all the steps to get to that point.
Maybe like a mentor. You could watch a mentor.
Yeah,
doing it.
I every time I hear this concept, I've heard of this concept several years ago, and the thing that I think of the most, for some reason, is like a song. Like if you really sit down and listen to a song that you like, that you've listened to a million times, if you really then sit down and listen to just all the components of it and break it all down, you could really start to feel yourself like looking for an instrument to try to put it all together. And I think that's what real estate investment is, or that's what anything is. Mm-hmm. If you look at I'll use real estate. So let's say you want to buy a piece of property for half price and you want to resell it. What are the steps involved? Well, let's take a look at somebody that's doing it. And here's what we do. Mm-hmm. Jill and I do it every day. You send out a ton of mail, direct offers in an area that you've identified where there's property owners that want to sell their property. So what do you need to do that? Oh, let's go take a couple steps backwards. You need data. You need really good access to an assessor database, not some crappy list on the internet. You need a way to get the offers efficiently in the mail. And maybe you're not going to do it right the first time or the fifth time, but you will eventually get it right.
You'll get it.
Somebody's going to get one of those offers, and they're just going to find out that they need some money that morning, they found out, and they're going to sign it and send it back. And you're going to buy a piece of property, whether it's a house or an apartment building or a piece of land, for half price. You're going to go on Craigslist, find the guy who flips houses in that area, or the person that wants a piece of land, and bang.
There you go. Next thing you know, he wants more.
Deconstruct it. And then there's more and more and more. Jill and I wholesale and flip houses for $10,000. We mark them up 10 grand. They never hit the internet. No one ever knows about it. We already have the people who are going to buy them. Mm-hmm. And we talk all about that in our new company, Get There First. Hey, if you have any questions or you want to be on the show, we would love to have you on the show, by the way. Call 800-725-8816. Jill, do you have some inspiration for us? Not that this whole show
was not inspirational.
It's just a half hour of inspiration.
It was kind of a Jill's thing here, a Jill show. So, my inspiration for today is, when I was thinking about this, I'm trying to come up with a good example, but it's test the concept. So let's think.
This is my favorite part of the show.
Thank you, Stephen.
You always surprise me with cool stuff.
I hope I make you think. So, like for me, what's something that's I just don't think I have it in me, I'm trying to think of a good example. Well, skiing, me and skiing.
Oh, no.
That's not a good one. Don't bring up skiing. All right. Well, I say Tessa. Okay, here's one. I'm sitting here at the beach and I'm looking outside, and this is true, Stephen. I have not shared this with you. So I'm watching the guys, the volleyball players, and beyond the volleyball players, we have the surfers. There's some pretty good chick surfers, and there's some pretty good chick surfers of all ages. And we were talking about that woman who swims. So, but I have never, like when you're in Hawaii as a kid and you're, in Waikiki trying to surf, I don't think that counts. So I thought for me to test this, to see how strong I am and what I've got in me, I'm thinking about taking surfing lessons.
Oh my gosh, you're reading my mind. If you want to start anything new, get some education first. Don't just pick up a surfboard and
I'm not just going to go out there and be like a ding dong. And I'm going to get somebody professional to help me. So
I'll do that with you.
Would you?
Sure.
Okay. Awesome.
Absolutely. I mean, I've done it before and I love it, but I'm sure I'm doing it all wrong. So.
Exactly. And there's definitely going to be wetsuits involved because boy, this water's cold right now.
I just went to get coffee before we did the show. And, we're in this beach community where these people I'm convinced now they've completely figured this out. And I would like to be part of this permanently at some point soon. And there's a woman, she's probably, I put her at maybe 70 on a bike. I don't think she was exercising. I think she was going to work. And she was beating the traffic.
Love it.
And it's this old rickety bike. Probably had it when she was a kid kind of thing.
Awesome.
Just killing it out there with a smile on her face. So there's nothing holding her back.
Totally.
I should have taken a picture. I should have taken a short little video with the phone, but
that's cool.
I mean, it just made me. It's like, how can I have a bad day after that? It's just.
Yep.
I have a theory about why everybody's happy here. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Especially people that age. I think that they purchased these houses that we're all staying in for like $35,000 in 1950, and they're all worth $6 million. And how could you not be happy with that?
How can you not be happy with that? Exactly.
No, I'm just joking. I think there's a little bit more to it, but whatever it takes, man. If you're 70, you're killing it on a bicycle, and you have $6 million in equity and real estate equity, more power to you. I'd like to join you sometime, and not too soon though. Join us in another episode where Jack and Jill discuss how to use information, that's me,
and inspiration, that's me,
to get just about anything you want.
We use it every day to buy property for half of what it's worth and sell it immediately.
Get there first. Good show, Jill. I'm sorry that you're hoarse.
Oh,
it doesn't. You're totally pulling it off.
Thank you. I hope I have that Demi Moore kind of thing going on.
You got a lot more than that going on, sister.
Thank you. So tell me about the lady on the bike. I think that is super cool.
Yeah, how sometimes you just see some people once in a while, not very often, and it's just like, man, that person is like liquid inspiration, and we need to bottle it and film it and show everybody.
Right.
Maybe that's an unhealthy reaction for me to have.
No,
I want to share like stuff like that with everyone. That's my first response. After I get over it myself, I don't know if that's healthy.
I think it's healthy. I think what's sweet about it is I'm sure she's going about her day. She has no idea that she's inspiring somebody. And if you stopped her and told her, I think she would be super flattered.
Yeah, or she would mace me.
Well, if I told her, she would be very flattered.
That's what I mean.
Well, we did that the other night. Remember that? The girl at the restaurant? Oh, I have to say this.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll say it now. Remember the girl that waited on us and I told her, I was happy that she has a brain and she uses it. And you said, I can't say that, but you can. You can tell her. And it was okay coming from me.
No, remember what I said was, I'm sure that you're on your way to someplace else.
Right.
And this is just a stop off.
Yeah.
And I think really she was concentrating on what she was doing because the place was packed. And she looked at me like, I don't think she heard me. All kinds of stuff. I didn't pull it off.
She was flattered.
Oh, really?
I think she was flattered. Oh, yeah, because when we talked, she stopped and we talked for a minute, so it was all good. But I was just so impressed with her. I had to tell her, that's another inspiration. I'm going to use that another time.
Here's a funny story, just along those lines, really quick. I bought a house in Detroit right after college, in an area of Detroit that it was up and coming at the time, and we did really well on it. But What I did, because I was just so new, I didn't know how it worked at all, and this is long before the internet. I went in this little neighborhood. It's called the Cabbage Patch on the east side of Detroit. It's as east as you can get against the lake. And I drove up and down the street and wrote down every single house that I saw with a sign in front of it. And I went to the real estate agent that we were working with and said, here's my list. These are top tier houses. There's second tier, and then there's last tier. And here's the ones we don't even want to look at all. And all the houses are different. So really different architecture and the whole thing. And she stopped and looked at me and said, whatever you choose to do for a living for the rest of your life, you're going to really exceed at it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. How old were you again?
I was 22 years old, probably 21.
And you remember that?
Yeah, because, when you're like this guy that asked a question today on the show, what the hell do I do? I'm brand new. I need some advice. I mean, when you get a compliment like that and you're trying to do, when you're starting out new and everything, you're like, can I surf or not?
That's
and
cool.
Somebody says, you know what? That's the best first day surfing I've seen in a long time. It really means something.
I love it. That's awesome.
So
I appreciate that. Everybody should step up like that and tell people.
Hey, let's go buy something for half price today and resell it. Jack and Jill, information and inspiration.
We hold a drawing to win a free property every month. Enter to win by reviewing this show on iTunes and downloading our free ebook at landacademy.com.
If you want to get involved or you need more information about our profitable, niche real estate operation, call 480-467-0359. You just might get Jill at the other end of the line.
landacademy.com. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.